October 26, 2023, and we will start by having attendance made
Sure, Madam Chairwoman. Ms. Willingham,
present.
Peter Bergdorf, and Lakakis are excused this evening. Sykes,
Here.
Grimm,
Here.
Ray Joyce,
Here.
Mayo,
Here.
and Camisso.
Here.
6 present, Madam Chairwoman.
We have a quorum. Thank you very much. All right, so now we'll start. We'll move ahead. Council,
First item is approving the previous minutes.
can I get a
Motion.
motion? I got a motion from, excuse me, Mr. Mayor. I got a second?
Second.
I got a second from Mr. Mr. Clay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous. Thank you very much.
All right, we're going to jump to number 4. The sheriff is here regarding authorizing the submission of a grant application to and an agreement with the Research Foundation for Mental Hygiene for grant funding and amending the 2023 Sheriff's Office budget.
Good evening. This is just a simple request to move the money from a revenue line to an appropriation line. We created a wellness app. We've disseminated it to all of our employees. We're going to try to work a few glitches out of it and then hopefully move it to all emergency services. We've already paid for it. It's a great program, gives all kinds of resources for whether it be domestic issues, addiction issues, mental health issues. You can speak with counselors, you can text with counselors. Really great program, so we're really proud of it, and we want to roll it out.
Oh, that's wonderful. Do I have any questions from anyone?
Motion.
I got a motion from Mr. Camisso. I got a second from Mr. Joyce. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous. Thank you very much.
Item 5 is amending the 2023 Sheriff's Office budget for year-end adjustments.
Yes, Madam Chairman, this is just to move some funds around from lines, start scraping lines towards the end of the year to pay some bills.
Motion.
Okay, I got a motion from Mr. Clay. I got a second from Mr. Joyce. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous. Thank you.
Item 6 is authorizing an agreement with the United States Department of Justice, Bureau of Justice Assistance regarding reimbursement for the incarceration of criminal aliens and amending the 2023 Sheriff's Office budget.
This is basically just an amendment of monies. I came to you earlier in the year for $25,000 in the line. We actually got $37,000, so we're just looking to correct that and drop it into a safety and security line.
You got a motion from Mr. Joyce?
I have a question. Sheriff, how much do we get for when we house the inmates, federal inmates?
Federal inmates, I get $119 a day.
A day.
So that's been that going rate for quite some time. And I house anywhere from 150 to 160 at any given day. So we have talked about, trying to move the number up a little bit. I didn't want to bite my nose off to spite my face because we bring in this year probably about 6.8 million for housing them. So I really don't want to see them go somewhere, but I am going to give a polite nudge to maybe we can move that rate up a little bit. It's been stagnant for, I think, every bit of the last 12 years.
Thanks, Sheriff.
So I got my motion. I need a second. I got a second from Mr. Clay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous. Thank you very much.
And item 7 is amending the 2023 Sheriff's Office budget for staff adjustments. Is this being,
If you wouldn't mind, could we please table this? I've spoken to Commissioner of Management and Budget, and in the hope of saving what little hair he has left, we wanted to try to move this. I was going to try to take care of this in the budget. There's a lot of moving parts, obviously, trying to get the budget out and everything else. So if we could, I'm not in a hurry to do this. It is a savings to the county, but I will try to clean it up in the budget process when I come to you Monday night.
All right, thank you.
table at request of sponsor?
Okay.
All right.
Is that it?
That's it. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank
Have
you,
a great
sir.
night.
All right, you too.
Okay. Item 2 is amending the 2023 Albany County budget to provide the Department of Parks and Recreation with funding to enhance parks and facilities throughout Albany County. Matt Peter is the sponsor who has designated Mert Simpson as the prime sponsor.
I don't need to sit in a big chair. No, this is just mom and apple pie. So kind of a modest amount of money for our parks, which, in this environment where our young people don't have anything positive to do, the parks are one of the few and most effective ways of giving them some alternative positive things to do. So, I think it speaks for itself. We should go for this. Questions? Yeah.
Madam Chair.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes, Mr. Grimm.
Thanks, yeah. Well, I didn't see a lot, everybody's from Parks, right? I didn't see a lot, there was a lack of specificity on where the money would go, in what direction. For example, how much money, for example, would go to Gilderland Parks. Can you give us some insight on how this money might ultimately be distributed?
That's yet to be determined, but it's such a minor amount that, whatever is done is going to be done probably on as equitable basis as possible, but wherever it lands, it's going to be, I think, useful. Again, it's such a small amount of money that it's not a lot to quibble
Can I just
about.
interrupt?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, that's something that has not actually been ironed out yet.
Right,
And
it has.
Mert wouldn't have anything to do with it. And so, you know,
Yeah, the resolution allows Justin Atlas, the Commissioner of Parks and Recs, to work with the municipalities to find out which ones will be best served by the money. So it is both something that hasn't been determined yet and also something that can't be determined yet until he's reached out to the municipalities just to see which parks are in the most need of services and renovation.
Yeah, we're gonna pass it tonight, I just wanna make sure that that's a caveat, that, we kind
oh,
of
it's
share
for the
the
whole
pot.
county, it's for the whole county. Yes, Mr. Ward.
Hey, Madam Chair, I am not on the committee, but I was wondering if I could be added as a sponsor to this.
Yeah, I'd like to be added as a sponsor as well. To Mark's point, the county it's not a lot of money to be spread across Albany County, so it's,
Like to go on it too.
I think hopefully maybe in the budget process we can know a little bit more.
Yeah.
Did I see you?
I wouldn't dismiss the amount, $150,000.
Well, for a park though, I mean, what are you gonna do with 150,000, pay for dugouts and,
Yes.
I mean, there's only so much, it doesn't go a long way across the number of parks we have in Albany County.
It's only peanuts in there.
Think about it.
Well, it's real money.
It's real money, but we need more.
Great. Did you have your hand up too, Mr. Mayor?
Yep.
Okay, very good, very good. All right, all right, can I get a motion?
Motion.
Okay, I got a motion from Mr. Camisco, got a second from Mr. Joyce, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous, thank you very much.
Item 3 is amending the 2023 Albany County budget to provide the Veterans Service Bureau with funding to enhance not-for-profit veteran services providers, and Mr. Ward is here this evening.
Thank you. There's one group of people, we've had a lot of ARPA money going around all the different groups at Albany County. One group that I don't think we've really served that well is the veterans organizations, and I think they were hit very hard during the pandemic. Their organizations would, they're a service organization for veterans. It's a place where they go and they get counseling in some places, and they provided peer services. And a lot of them have some capital expenses now that have gone unserved because they had 2 years where they couldn't raise any money. A lot of them have banquet halls and facilities they rent out. They had no income coming in, no revenue to make these capital improvements. And I don't think we're going to, go way too far with $150,000, but I think it's a start in the right direction to help these organizations out and serve a group of people that I think have been adversely affected during COVID and even now. So I'm just asking you get some support for $150,000 to help these groups out.
Absolutely. If there are any other comments, I'd like to make one. I too am part of one of the posts, and I'm there quite a bit. But I also see too, I have my daughter is a veteran, and I have a lot of friends are too, and that still suffer from a lot of different, ailments,
Absolutely.
Some have been to Afghanistan, some have been to Vietnam, and Desert Storm, that. And so I think this is, it's long past due as far as being able to do something for our veterans. It really is. And so I'm just happy that you came up with this, and I'm going to support it absolutely 100%.
And Madam Chair, I want to add that we're just appropriating money to the Veterans Bureau, Albany County Veterans Bureau to distribute it where they see fit. And I would assume that they would have some kind of an application process for it.
Any other comments?
Motion to move, there's no further comments.
Okay, I have a motion from Mr. Joyce. Can I get a second? I got a second from Mr. Canisso. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Item 8 is amending the 2023 Stormwater Coalition budget for enhanced pay. I believe Director Nancy Heinzen is here.
Yeah,
Warmed them up for you.
I know, I appreciate it. Yeah, so I don't know how, to the extent that anybody's aware of the request by the Stormwater Coalition to find a replacement for me. I announced that I wanted to retire. I know you approved a budget amendment to increase my salary line. We were fortunate enough to hire Gabby here, Gabby Krupa, who started a couple of weeks ago, so she's very fresh. The Coalition Board of Directors realized that it was very important to cross-train Gabby, take advantage of my time working full-time for the rest of this year and into some of next year. Also, we wanted to make a parity with my salary and her salary. So this is an amendment to create an enhanced salary line, pulling money from the JS specialist line so that my salary is equal to her salary. And that's the proposal here. So that's my request.
Very good. And welcome.
I know. So this is all, she's being observing everything here. So.
Do we have any questions about this? I just.
Motion.
Okay, I got a motion, I just want to clarify one thing. Can you just tell us who all the members are of the board?
Yeah, so these are the urbanized municipality. They're designated based on Clean Water Act regulations. Let me see if I can remember them all. Town of Guilderland, Town of Bethlehem, Town of New Scotland, did I say Guilderland? Village of, who's another town? I don't have my list in front of me. No, wait. Yeah, they're on the, yeah, they're right here, so.
Yeah. Okay, we see it now.
Yeah, now
I'm
you
sorry.
see it, yeah. So it's a mix of cities. Do you want me to read them off, or should I?
Sure, go ahead.
Yeah. Okay, Albany County, City of Albany, Village of Altamont, Town of Bethlehem, City of Cohoes, Town of Colony, Village of Green Island, Town of Guilderland, Village of Manans, Town of New Scotland, Village of Voorheesville, City of Watervliet, and University at Albany. That's because of the way the regulation is defined. They're an urbanized, publicly owned entity. We've been together since 2009. Very committed group, so the handoff of my job to somebody else is just real critical to keeping the organization running smoothly and keeping our mission focused.
Yes, Mr. Graham.
Yeah, thanks. I was reading the Guilderland recently. We don't have a stormwater coalition person, so they made the planning director. Are you guys able to assist in places like that?
Yeah, definitely. So even though you don't have a person right now because someone had resigned,
Yes.
they have a substitute person now who doubles. She works for the planning department and GIS as well. So she's coming in temporarily until they hire somebody. The nature of the coalition is that we have very, very learning intense meetings and a lot of training opportunities. So what happens is anyone from a municipality who might be temporarily appointed to the position to come to the working group meeting and board ends up just learning a lot, and then they tend to push that information out to whoever is hired. So it's really a network of training done in a lot of different ways. So to answer your question, it's not an issue right now, provided they are focused in terms of filling that position relatively quickly.
You're involved with a lot of red tape.
Oh, absolutely.
It's
Yeah.
a big challenge, and it's federal government forces upon us.
Yeah, it's a federal law administered by the state DEC, and it's national, so everybody is doing the same thing nationally according to the same criteria based on the Clean Water Act.
Every municipality in the country.
Not all. It's based on density. So this you'll notice, like Town of Bern, Knox, Westerlo is not in the group because they don't have the population density. Yeah. So it's very restricted in that way, in that sense.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Do I have, can I get a motion now?
Motion.
I got a motion from Mr. Clay, and I got a second from Mr. Graham. All those in favor? Opposed? Unanimous, thank you.
Thank you for
Okay,
your
great.
service to the
Thank you.
county, by the way.
Well, I'm not done yet. Gabby's.
Glad to have you back.
Yeah, really. Let's hope the best. Anyway, it's been fun, and thank you for all your support. Really, it's been great. So, bye-bye.
Item 9 is authorizing a quitclaim deed and easement for Mohawk Hudson Land Conservancy to formally accept ownership of the Bender Mellon Farm Preserve Bridge above the Albany County Rail Trail. Mr. Sagan is here this evening.
Hi, Chairwoman, thank you, legislators. This is a authorization for a quitclaim deed and easement for the Bender Mellon Farm Bridge. Essentially, it's confirming Mohawk Hudson Land Conservancy's ownership and responsibility to maintain the bridge going forward. I know I've been in front of this body a few times recently talking about the Bender Mellon Farm Preserve, but this would sort of be the final piece to make sure that that bridge is restored and the Bender Mellon Farm Preserve is really put to useful public use.
Okay, all right, I just want to clarify one thing, and I have you to just make sure that this is not the bridge, or is it the bridge? Okay, I've already been told that had the problem, that caved in.
No, that is a different bridge. This one is due west of the bridge that goes over New Scotland Road. This one is over by the Hilton Barn in the town of New Scotland.
Okay, all right, can I get a motion?
Motion.
I got a motion from Mr. Camuso. I got a second from Mr. Joyce. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous. Thank you.
Thank you.
Item 10 is authorizing the conveyance of real property located at 4852 Western Turnpike in the town of Guilderland.
Madam Chair, I'll take this one. So this is a property that is confirmed environmentally problematic by DEC. It's been on multiple auctions and not garnered a bid. We were approached by the abutting owner who offered, now that DEC has done some work on the property, to take the property and merge it into their parcel. It is a property we've been contacted by the town multiple times. It is also a structure that likely would be in need of demolition, so we'll be avoiding a demolition cost. So we deemed at this point, after multiple auctions, a direct transfer to be beneficial to the county, and therefore we'll be requesting a direct transfer of the property.
Mr. Grimm?
Yeah, Madam Chair, this is in my district, this is quite a story. An elderly man died there, and he had no relatives. So this, you see in the pictures, it's a terrible looking shack, but it had pesticides in there and chemicals. And there's a stream right next to the house. So the DEC had to move in and fix up the stream, and the neighbor has kids who were playing in the stream. So my thanks to Mike Mack and Commissioner Riley, because this is, and it's an eyesore right on Western Avenue, Western Turnpike is Route 20. So this is a big win for the government to get this cleaned up. And I'm happy that we finally have been able to do it. It's taken a lot of work to do it.
Oh, wow, that's great. That's great. No further questions or comments? Can I get a motion? Mr. Grimm?
Yeah.
I got a motion from Mr. Grimm and a second from Mr. Clay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, unanimous. Thank you.
Item 11 is authorizing the conveyance of real property located at 1185 Knox Cave Road in the town of Knox.
Madam
This is
Chair,
in Mr. Curley's district.
again, Madam Chair, as stated, this is for 1185 Knox Cave Road. This is going directly to the abutting owner for $5,000. All of our normal checks have been commenced.
All right. No questions?
Motion.
Got a motion from Mr. Commissioner. I got a second from Mr. Joyce. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous. Thank you very much.
And item 12 is authorizing the conveyance of real property located at 312 Orange Street in the city of Albany.
And this is in Mr. Simpson's district.
Yep. Yeah, Madam Chair, this is in the city of Albany, a little different portion of the county, but very similar transfer. This is also going to the abutting owner. This is for $1,500. Satisfies all of our other criteria.
Is that okay? Very good. No questions, can I get a motion? Got a motion from Mr. Quinn, got a second from Mr. Joyce, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous, thank you very much.
Yeah, Pat's also.
Item 13 is authorizing an award of grant funding to Calibrant NY2 LLC regarding the solar power system located at 897 Watervliet Shaker Road in the town of Colony.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Pat Kern from the County Executive's Office. So this request is to transfer funds that have been received by the county as a grant award from the New York Power Authority to the developer of the county's solar project at 897 Watervliet Shaker Road, Calibrant New York LLC. The grant funds will be transferred from the county to Calibrant to cover their capital costs for the project upfront, and then this will bring down the cost of energy purchased by the county from Calibrant on the back end through a power purchasing agreement.
Do I have any questions?
I have a question. Thank you. How much will the county save because of this grant?
So I'm not entirely sure on the details of the power purchasing agreement, however, I'm happy to look into it and get that back to you. Luke Rogers, who's the Sustainability and Economic Development Coordinator, has been working mostly on this project. So I'm happy to look into that for you and get you that.
That's fine. Thank you, Madam Chair.
No other questions? I entertain a motion.
Motion.
I got a motion from Mr. Clay. I got a second from Mr. Mayo.
Is there my abstention on this one?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? One abstention.
All right, and item 14 is authorizing an agreement with Interfaith Partnership for the Homeless regarding renovation and staff orientation at Mercy House in the city of Albany.
Game of musical chairs, I'm back. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a request to fund the reopening of what was formerly known as Mercy House. I'm sure you're all aware that we've had 2 shelters close in Albany County over the past year, and we are rapidly approaching, well, not so much today, but rapidly approaching Code Blue season, which is when all shelter rules are suspended when the temperature drops below freezing. So this is an effort. Thank you to the chair of Audit and Finance, the chair of Social Services, the chair of the legislature generally, legislative staff for working with us to coordinate a way in which we can respond to a major community need, and we'll put about 20 beds back into the shelter system. So this is $250,000 to Interfaith Partnership for the Homeless. They will take over Mercy House. Mercy House was not run by Interfaith Partnership for the Homeless before. It had been run by Catholic Charities. And when it closed, it was in not the best of shape. It was not up to the state's new homeless shelter code, and they were having major issues attracting staff. So this money will be used for the necessary upgrades inside to get the property back into usable condition, staff orientation for those new folks who need to come into place. I'm sure you all heard about the terrible incident that occurred at an Interfaith Partnership for the Homeless facility earlier this year. So security is a bit of a focus. So it'll certainly be assisting with the installation and upgrade of that system as well. And it will get this shelter up and running in time for Code Blue system. After that, this is a one-time cost. After that, they will then be rolled into, and I believe actually the Social Services Committee approved the contract for next year at the past meeting, be rolled into the normal DSS funding mechanisms, which are reimbursed through the state to be taken care of in the normal course of reimbursement, as all of our other shelters are. And there's also an opportunity here with Interfaith Partnership for the Homeless, and hopefully we'll be coming back to you to utilize some of the opiate settlement funds for service programs for those who are homeless and afflicted by chemical dependency. So there will be more to come on that, but I think it's a good overall story for the season that we're going into.
I just want to answer your question.
Yes.
I've been in that building.
Yeah.
It was a very beautiful, those houses down there are, some of them are very, just beautiful homes.
Yep.
Okay, so now, I know it was used for a shelter for women and children, okay? So, is it going to be continued for women and children? Or-
Great question. So it likely will be both. So there's a way in that building to separate some of the floors. So right now, it appears the upper floors will be women, and the lower floors will be single males. That is part of the service paradigm that they were hoping to provide, yes.
Okay, all right, and are there any other questions? Mr.
Madam
Grimm?
Chair, for whatever reason, Mercy House couldn't make it work.
Correct.
So we're putting up $250,000, and my concern is we want to make sure that the Interfaith Partnership will be able to sustain it. Do we expect to have any additional subsidy to them? Or are you convinced that once you they renovate the place with the 250, they'll be able to operate and be able to make it work.
No, I mean, it's a serious point, especially since St. Charles Luanga also was the other facility that was a Catholic facility that closed. What I'll say is this, our best provider for homeless services is Interfaith Partnership for the Homeless, without question. Their facilities are superior. They have expanded, I don't want to say exponentially, but significantly. They have their original facility on Sheridan Avenue. They renovated a very large, I want to say an old convent. It's next to an old church up in the Sheridan Avenue area. I'm not sure if any of the legislators know what building I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And they brought,
I do.
you know?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Mert. They renovated that. They got a whole bunch of state money, OTDA money, for that, in addition to, as their name suggests, Interfaith Partnership for the Homeless. They do bring in a significant amount of multi-faith, I'll call it, I'm not sure if that's the correct phrase, donations, no different than, as an example, City Mission, which is a facility that operates without any subsidy whatsoever. So they have demonstrated over time a much more sustainable model. And that, coupled with the fact that they'll be able to assume the role that we had been, this is a cost that went away, not because it wasn't needed, but because the provider couldn't provide it. That money is still built into the budget. So I'm confident that it can be made to work, and along with some of the other potentials for additional services. Many years ago, we built in case management services into our contracts and compensated for that. That's why I mentioned the use of the settlement funds for chemical dependency purposes as well.
You've talked it over with them.
Yes.
So they think with the 250, they can make it work.
Yes,
And you're convinced you can make it work.
yes. Keep in mind, this is just stopgap funding for the end of the year and for setup. The rest of the ongoing costs for 2024 will be borne out through their contract.
Thanks.
I have to
Madam
s-
Chair.
Thank you. I have to say that I think that's a wonderful idea because there are so many needs of the homeless. And whether it's drug dependency, you know, as well as being homeless. And I think these supportive services that we're providing is a way in which we're progressing as far as how we deal with the homeless. And we recognize that you just can't put a roof over their head without offering them services too, to try to begin to restructure their lives and maintain some form of, try to get control of normalcy again in their lives. So I think, I'm glad that we're putting those services in with that. And I think that's an excellent use of that opiate money. I really do. So
Thank you.
I just want to thank you. All right. Now, if there's no other questions, I'll entertain a motion.
Motion.
I got a motion from Mr. Grimm, I got a second from Mr. Canisso. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you very much.
And there are no further items.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Second. Motion.